Okay, and as usual, let's check our posture first. Okay, so try to see if we can have a little bit of an anterior pelvic tilt. So posterior is the back of your tailbone is gonna hold up like this. Okay, see if we can do the opposite a little bit when we're sitting. Okay, so pull the front of the pelvis a little bit down so that we have a bit of a curve in the low back area. Okay, so let's just go, just kind of relax our trunk a little bit first. Okay, so we're just going to breathe kind of out. Okay, just slouching a little bit, go into a posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, breathing into the opposite, belly button a little more forward, shoulders a little high, further back, chest a little high up. Okay, so kind of breathing in. Okay, breathing out, just okay, try to do a full breath in, full breath out. Belly button a little more forward, arching our backs, and breathing out. Okay, and now standing a little bit taller. Okay, just look left and right a few times. Try to relax our shoulders. Okay, so we need to be tense enough. Okay, so that we can hold ourselves up. Okay, but not so tense that our shoulders is up. Okay, so as much, just only as much tension as we need. Okay, so just kind of, and also be able to still breathe. Sometimes we'll be kind of sit tall, stand tall. We just tense up and we can't take a full breath. So try to see if we can keep a full breath going while maintaining a tall posture. Okay, so I'm just going to take a breath in and out. Okay, while looking left and right. Okay, try to relax your shoulders, but keep chest tall. Okay, so keep going a little bit while in. Okay, let's stretch a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna have our, this is my right arm, I'm gonna reach towards my left knee a little bit. Okay, be careful that you're not slouching as well. So try to, when we turn, we want to be tall. Okay, so this is my right hand going towards my left. Okay, so let's take a breath here first. Okay, you might feel a little bit of stretch in this kind of abdominal area. Okay, and we exaggerate this a little bit by looking towards the shoulders as well. Okay, so kind of chin tuck towards the collarbone or the armpit area. Okay, and just try to take a full breath in and out. Be about 3 breaths. Okay, still staying tall. Okay, coming back out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so my left hand towards my right knee. Okay, a little bit of a twist of the spine. Okay, but we want to stay tall. Okay, and take a breath first. Okay, try to breathe into the belly area as we usually do. Okay, and then if you're comfortable, see if you can tuck your chin in towards the, I guess you can call this the front shoulder. Try to take a big breath in, big breath out. Okay. Okay. Also about 3 to 5 breaths. Okay, and coming back out. Okay, let's stretch the front a little bit. Okay, so that's, we're just gonna put our hands behind our pelvis. Okay, still mind the position of our pelvis. Okay, so let's take a breath in. Okay, try to open the shoulders a little more. Okay, chest still tall. Okay, breathing out, just relax in between. Okay, and continue a couple of times. And relax in between anytime you want to. Okay, so let's practice the stuff that we kind of worked on last time. So work the telescopic breath, okay, which means as we take a breath in, we're just going to let's try to get ourselves a little bit taller up. Okay, so you can even just put your hands on your pelvis, and as you breathe in, imagine trying to lift yourself up. Okay, and you try to take a big breath in for full breath in. Okay, as you breathe out, try to see if you can breathe it out completely. So try to pull your belly button towards your spine as you take a breath out. Okay, so hands somewhere on the pelvis. Okay, still maintain a curve in your back. Okay, so keep this way. Okay, and then we'll work on extension this way. Okay, so let's take a breath in. Okay, as you breathe in, see if you can lightly almost try to lift yourself up using your hands a little bit if you need to. So try to take a breath in. Lifting yourself getting taller. Okay, as you breathe out. Okay, try to kind of almost contract your abdomen a little bit, but maintaining that height. Okay, so as you breathe out, don't slouch this time. Okay, so maintain that height, just try to suck the stomach in a little bit. Keep breathing out fully. Keep breathing in again. Think of getting yourself taller. Think of something kind of at the back of your head, and you're trying to push it up to the ceiling a little more as you take a breath in. Okay, as you breath out, maintain that height. Okay, but breathe out more fully, so stomach in a little bit. Okay, and maybe a couple more times. Breathing in. Okay, so remember it's not the forehead, so we're not looking upwards. It's a kind of the back of the head or the spine, the neck. Okay, try to pull that part upwards or push that part upwards. And as you breathe out, maintain that height. Maybe one or two more times. Okay, and after that, just relax in between. Okay, so shaking out. Okay, so now we're just going to pay more attention to each part. Okay, so starting off from the abdominal area, okay, and then the ribs, okay, and a little bit of the chest. Okay, so starting off from the bottom, okay, so we're just going to lightly find just anywhere in your belly area. Okay, you can lightly put just a little bit of gentle pressure onto our kind of belly area. Okay, so take a breath in, see if you can breathe into your hands. Okay, so fight your hands. Okay, so try to get air around that area. Okay, so gentle pressure, breath in. Okay, lightly fight your hands. Okay, as you breathe out, just let your hands push things back in. Okay, so take a breath in again. Let's do 3 breaths. Okay, so just doing gentle pressure on the abdomen area. Okay, just try to breathe more into the area. Okay, you don't have to press too hard. Just be more aware of what you're doing. Okay, and relax in between. Okay, next, we're going to just go up a little bit onto the lower ribs. Okay, so you can reset your posture in between. Okay, so while we're doing this, we're just trying to be just concentrating our attention on just what is happening right now. It's more particular what is happening to our breath. Okay, so what is moving, what does the air feel like, things like that. So, okay, just focusing our attention to our sensations. Okay, so let's reset our posture again. So still going back to that taller, wider posture. Okay, and I'm going to find just our lower ribs. Okay, so just any of the ribs on the side. Okay, once again, you can just put a little bit of gentle pressure. It doesn't have to be too much. Okay, just so that we have some awareness if it's moving or not. Okay, so just a little bit of gentle pressure on your ribs. And once again, we'll try to take a breath in, breathing into the area where we're applying the pressure in. Okay, so just at your own pace. Okay, but as you breathe in and out, see if you can still maintaining that posture. So don't sink too much when you're breathing out. Okay, let's try through the 5 breaths at your own pace. Okay, so see if your kind of ribs expanding a little bit as you take a breath in. Okay, and feel the ribs just sinking back in as you breathe out. Okay, let's try to slow it down a little bit. So take a longer breath in. Okay, fully expand the ribs. Okay, and then breathing out fully. Okay, when you're done, just reset once again. Just go back, shake things off, go back to how you breathe normally. Okay, and we're just going to go on to the upper ribs kind of next. So still posture first, okay, taller, wider. Okay, so you can either cross your hands or you can just put even just one hand on your chest. And as you take a breath in, so once again, gentle pressure on your chest, okay, so take a breath in, see if you can feel the area rising a little bit. This one, do it maybe especially a little bit slower, just because we might get a little lightheaded if we do it too fast. Okay, so try to take a breath in. Okay, so you might feel your shoulders coming up and down a little bit. Okay, and once again, shake things out a little bit. Okay, so let's work on something slightly different today. Okay, so let's just try to work on exhale a little bit more. Okay, so this one, it might be easier if you use a band. Okay, so for this one, let's kind of just, when you wrap a band, just around just any of your lower ribs. You can use your hands if you don't have a band. Just makes it easier to be a little bit. Doesn't have to be too tight. Just once again, gentle, kind of a gentle, maybe a little bit of gentle pressure on your ribs. Okay, so let's just work on expansion of the ribs a little bit. The good thing about the band is that wraps all the way around as well, so you can maybe kind of feel your back area moving a little bit as well. Okay, so don't put it too tight, so if it makes you feel uncomfortable to breathe, just take it off anytime. Okay, so let's just see if you can just kind of almost try to use the muscles here of the ribs. Okay, so don't, without mashing the breath so much, see if you can almost try to contract those muscles so that you can feel your ribs kind of expanding. Okay, and as you relax, you should come back down. Okay, so and if I'm breathing out, hopefully you can kind of maybe barely see it. Your ribs expanding. Okay, and as you relax, your ribs go back in. Okay, so we're just trying to almost try to train the muscles in our ribs, trying to get it moving a little bit better. Okay, so the way we're going to practice this is that we're still going to be, of course, breathing. Okay, so you just take any normal breath in. Okay, you might feel the ribs expanding as you take a breath in. Okay, as you take a breath out, you're going to pull your stomach in a little bit. Okay, and then see if it expand the ribs a little bit. Okay, you're going to hold it for 1 to 2 seconds. Okay, and then relax. And go back to taking a breath in. Okay, so let's not do it continuously. So we're going to do it one at a time. So breathing, take a couple of breaths in between. Okay, if it's too difficult for you to hold exhale, just work on just being able to expand the ribs and then relax the ribs. Okay, just see if you can be more conscious, being able to contract and relax those muscles. Okay, but if you're able, we're just going to take a breath in. Okay, take a breath out. Holding our belly button into the spine. Get stuck in the stomach. Expand the ribs a little bit. Okay, hold for 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, relax those muscles. And then take a breath in. It's harder to do, so it's easier to be able to move those muscles, okay, when we're not pulling the stomach in. Okay, so if it's too difficult, once again, just work on just being able to contract and relax what we call the intercostal muscles. Okay, but if you can, do it with the diaphragm exhaling fully at the same time. Okay, so let's do 3 more repetitions. Okay, so once again, take whatever rest you need in between. Okay, once again, just a normal breath in again. Okay, staying tall while you breathe out, pulling the stomach area in. Okay, and then try to expand the ribs while holding that kind of caving in your, or what we call a vacuum in your stomach area. Relax. Okay, and then take a breath in and out. Okay, a couple of breaths in and out to reset. And let's do 2 more times. Okay, just whenever you're ready. Okay, breath in. Okay, breath out. Once again, imagine there's a vacuum inside the stomach, pulling your stomach in, and then try to expand the ribs. Or at least engage those muscles. Okay, relax everything when you're done, and then take a breath in. Okay, let's do it one last time. Okay, just whenever you're ready. And taking a breath in. Breath out, staying tall while I'm doing this. Pulling my belly button towards my spine. Okay, and then try to hold that position as I try to expand the ribs, or at least engage those muscles. I'm done. Just relax those muscles. Okay, and then taking a breath in and out. Okay, and let's just take off the band. Okay, so it's kind of hard to control. I'm kind of learning it myself as well. Okay, but we can actually control the ribs muscles. Okay, so it's kind of like a diaphragm or other muscles. So as you contract these things, it should expand your ribs side to side. The second just almost creates a little bit of resistance to it. Okay, so relaxing in between. Okay, feel free to get up at any point if you need. If you feel like you've been sitting for too long and you're a little stiff or you're a little tense, feel free to change positions at any time. You can also do this standing up as well. It doesn't matter so much as long as it's safe for you. Okay, so next one, let's do the opposite. Let's focus on the almost inhale, the diaphragm muscles a little bit. Okay, so we're actually going to create a little bit of resistance to the breath. So when we breathe in, the diaphragm goes down, okay, and it sucks the air in a little bit. Not a little bit, that's kind of how it works. Okay, but we're going to create a little bit of resistance as we take a breath in, okay, and then we're going to try to slow the breath down out as well. Okay, so let's work on the breathing out fast. So what we're going to try to do is try to almost whisper. So almost imagine, so you can try it out. So you can actually say, hello, hello, hello. So you can feel as you whisper, you almost feel like almost the back of your throat. Hello, hello. Or just as you, when you get that feeling, just kind of breathe out and maintain that kind of that feeling almost at the back of the throat. So you can still imagine I'm whispering. My breath is coming on a little slower. So 1, 2, 3, hello, good morning. So it's that feeling in the back of the throat. Okay, so as you breathe out, see if you can just almost like a sigh, but it's almost like you're breathing out, but you're almost partially closing your airways a little bit. So it's hard to describe, but it's a feeling almost at the back or the kind of the neck area. If you can, see if you can do that even before doing a sigh, so you can do that breathing out even through the nose. So you should be able to almost hear more noise as you breathe out. Okay, so this one is maybe a little harder to get. So I don't know if you can hear it through my mic. So some people describe that almost like a Darth Vader sound, if you're familiar with Star Wars. Okay, so just as much as you can, see if you can do that as you're breathing out. Okay, if you can, just slow it down the breath out a little bit. Okay, but what we're going to do is that we are going to be breathing in, but creating a little bit more resistance through our mouth. Okay, so you can imagine you're kind of whistling, so kind of the pursed lip. You don't have to actually whistle, but you're going to make an O-shaped mouth. Okay, but instead of blowing out, we're going to be breathing in. Okay, so a little bit of resistance, make a diaphragm work slightly harder. Okay, so you're just going to take a breath in while holding that pursed lip. So it'll be something like this. Okay, so you're slowing down the inhale. Okay, so once again, it'll be, or you can imagine you're drinking really heavy milkshake. Okay, but if we take these breaths too fast or too much, you might get a little harder. So let's slow down out exhale as well. Okay, so maybe I should get a little closer. Okay, so we'll be just breathing in. Imagine you're drinking very heavy milkshake. So this should naturally take a little longer. As you breathe out, have that feeling in the back of the throat again. You try to do this a little slower through that. You can do either like a sigh or through the nose. Okay, and try to breathe in through the straw again. Okay, so we just only do 1 or 2 times per cycle and then reset. Okay, and we just do this kind of 2 more times. Okay, so you'll be breathing in through a pursed lip. Okay, so it takes to take long, take a breath in, You might have to diaphragm work slightly harder to pull the air in. Okay, as you breathe out, make that as you almost that sigh, you get that feeling in the back of the throat. Okay, and try to slow it down a little bit as well. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Just maybe one, two more times. Okay, so breathing in. Breathing out fully. Breathing in from the straw. Again, pulling in slightly maybe. Okay, and then reset. Okay, at any point if it makes you feel dizzy, just go back to regular breathing first. Okay, and we're just going to do this maybe one more time. So do whatever you need to do, especially if you feel tense in any area, shake it off a little bit. Okay, and let's do this just one more time. Okay, so create a little bit of resistance using your mouth. Okay, drink a very heavy milkshake. Okay, as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, slow it down a little bit by kind of almost closing the airway a little bit at the back of the throat. Okay, so whenever you're ready, breathing in through the straw. Close the back of the throat. Breathing out fully. And through the straw again. Okay, and then just reset. Okay, so this one a little more focused on the inhalation compared to the exhale. Okay, so we don't necessarily have to want to breathe like this all the time. Okay, so let's just go back to how we should kind of breathe most of the time. Okay, so just going back to using more the diaphragm, more the ribs, okay, and try to slow things down. Okay, so remember, we want to breathe lightly, slowly, and deeply most of the time when we're not exerting ourselves. Okay, so when we go back to breathing in and out through the nose, let's just try to reset our posture first. Okay, so again, imagine the hair in your nose not even moving as you take a breath in or breath out. Okay, so everything's just slow down a little bit. Okay, you don't necessarily have to take a full breath in with this. Okay, so usually we don't need to go or take a full breath in all the time. Okay, could be just lightly around this area. Okay, but you still feel your ribs expand a little bit. Belly doesn't necessarily go out too much. Okay, we're using the front, the sides, and the back. So for today, pay more attention to the sensation of the ribs. Okay, so as you take a breath in, see if you can feel those muscles on the side contracting a little bit to pull your rib cage a little bit open. Mind your posture again. Just trying to make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale this time. Just pay attention to what is moving. Okay, how much tension we're holding. Okay, maybe you can feel the back expanding a little bit as you take a breath in. Okay, shoulders relax, chest more or less relax. You might feel a little bit of tension in your back muscles as it holds our body up. Okay, and let's kind of keep that sort of breathing in mind. Okay, let's just still do the qigong recording today, but not just the movement, but also the breathing. Okay, so let's just do it together. Okay, so maybe we should just slowly stand up a little bit. Let me give ourselves a little bit of time to adjust to the changes in position. So usually maybe move on a little bit more first. Okay, just to allow our kind of blood pressure to catch up usually. Okay, certainly your body has to work a little harder to keep your blood pressure up. Otherwise, as you stand up, your blood pressure can't keep up, then you might feel a little bit lightheaded. Okay, so let's follow along this video, but once again, not just the movement, okay, but see if you can maintain that lighter breath, slower breath, okay, and then deeper breath. Okay, so deeper means using a diaphragm. You can feel the ribs expanding, not just the side, also the back. Okay, and try to get a taller posture so that you're not restricting your lungs due to your posture. Okay, so let's just hope the sound is okay. Okay, I'm going to, oops. Oh, now I hear it. Okay, hopefully everyone can hear. If not, give me a signal. Okay, so this video is mirrored, so you can just go to your left. So this one, your knees do go a little forward, but don't squat too low. Okay, so knees go a little bit forward, don't squat too low. A little different than how we squat usually. So looking up first and then looking forward. This is more of an upright squat. Okay, so knees do go a little bit more forward. Trunk stays upwards. So it uses the front of the thighs a little bit more. Okay, so as you draw the bow, see if you can separate the palm from the elbow. Okay, so both hands goes in different directions, expanding the chest. Trying to extend the elbows, expand the hands, open the palm. It's only go a little slow as you feel comfortable. Let's breathe back into the belly area. Okay. Okay, so slightly shorter class. Oops, okay, so thank you for coming, everyone. Slightly shorter class today. So hope you find it helpful. Maybe see everyone next time. Bye bye. Good morning.